Where we always start is a big shout out to the Glemnet Southern Amateur League at Glemnet SAL on Twitter, www.southernamateurleague.co.uk, and the Amateur Football Alliance at Amateur FA on Twitter and www.amateur-fa.com. And the first team that we mention is Ibis Football Club, IBIS Football Club. ibisfootballclub@gmail.com is where you need to email if you want more information or you want to play for one of the 4 sides in the club. Facebook.com/IBIS_FC, Twitter.com/IBIS, Ibis_football, at Ibis_football on Twitter, and IbisFC.co.uk is the official website. Big shout out to JT who runs the website and Tristan Popel who is the chairman of the club. But you know what? Training is every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. at the Battersea Park all-weather AstroTurf pitches just off Prince of Wales Drive next door to the Kids Adventure Playground. Match days are Saturdays and matches are anywhere within the M25. Let's go to some results. From the 8th of March 2014, Ibis 1's 3, Old Stationers 1. Penny Cook got 2 goals and Mark Addy got 1 goal himself. Old Westminster Citizens 0-0, drew 0-0 with the Ibis 2s. Big shout outs to Ollie Wooden, who's the 2s captain, and big shout out to Bloggy as well, who runs the 2s as well. Big shout outs to Ben Pierre and also Alex Minchell, who run the 1s at the moment. And Old Parkonians for Ibis 3s 0. Now I'm going to get into that result because the Ibis 4s match against Civil Service, which was supposed to be a double header, was actually cancelled. But I'll get into that in a second. But the starting lineup for the 3s, aka the 4s this week, against our away at Old Parkonians was myself, straight shooting LJA, aka Liam Angel, in goal. Again, yes, needs must. Because a certain someone was at the Emirates Stadium. Name no names.
My ankle's injured as well.
I'm kidding.
He's got his sick note from the doctor.
But we had Carl Bolton and Rob Lusher at centre-back. We had Stephen Dodd filling in for me at left-back. We had John Richardson, a friend of Ash Farrell's, who was at right-back. Ollie Lewis at right midfield. We started off with Kendall Campbell at left midfield. And in the middle, we had Ash Farrell and Manny Tesfaye. And up top, we had Andrew Williams and Jordan Mills. We did have a couple of dropouts. We had one dropout on the morning, who was Musi Goyrom. He was a late dropout. And Christian Fricks, who was ill, so he wasn't able to make it. So I picked up the kit from him on Friday nights. Big shout. Get well soon, Christian. We need you back. But Namo Matamisa didn't show up. So it was one of them ones.
Flop of the week.
Yeah.
And -5 stars.
Yeah, it's one of them ones. But he got a voicemail at like what, 4 minutes past 3 when we kicked off at 3.
-5 stars.
So it's one of them ones. It was probably the best thing that I could do not to call back because it wouldn't have been nice. But I had to hold my tongue after the match in terms of my true feelings about that whole situation. But yeah,
-5 stars.
Yeah, all I you got to say.
-5 stars.
For Namo no-showing again. This is the second time in about 3 years that's happened. The last time he no-showed, we were away at Aline Old Boys and we had 10 men for 90 minutes, which is not helpful. But Old Parkonians beat us 4-0. So, another day, another defeat, but the circumstances of the defeat were a bit odd this week because there is a bit of concern about the future of the club, at least in terms of number of teams. But that's all I'm at liberty to actually say at the moment. The simple fact is the doubleheader that us 4s were supposed to have at home ended up being a trek to Fairlop in Ilford, Essex to fulfill a freeze fixture versus Old Parkonians. Now, on the morning of the match, we had a dropout, but on the day, we also had a no-show from Namo Matamisa, which was extremely disappointing. That's me putting it mildly. And like I just said, I actually had to hold my tongue with my real feelings post-match, but I digress. The fact is, 11 men, mainly 4s players, had to play against the free side from Old Parkonians, which is being contested for league points. But nonetheless, we soldiered on. Now, I must say that as the 4s captain, I actually didn't tell the guys until after the match that we were playing as the Freeze this week due to extreme under-availability throughout the club. I actually didn't lie when I was asked about it. It was just a case of I just avoided the question when I was asked about old Parkonians and where they were in terms of league position. As I actually didn't want to lie to the guys, but at the same time I didn't want to say, right, this is a Freeze game, because I don't know, it will foster kind of the wrong mentality. It's like, it's not our game anyway, it doesn't really matter.
So you committed inception on your team.
So it was club first. No, it was one of them ones. It was club first.
You planted the idea.
No, it was club first. It was club first.
And it snowballed from there, people.
I mean, it's one of them ones. I didn't want people to play like the points meant nothing. But for the good of the club, would be the short way of putting it. But anyway, we started off very well after practicing our corner routines, and it was a mission to find the ground. So we didn't get to practice as much as I would have liked, because we've been doing drills before the game, basically wingers v fullbacks, that kind of thing, and then move on to corners. But we only got to do the corners. But it's one of them ones. But for a team that had a good few people who hadn't played together much, I felt we did well. First off, we had a couple of warnings and near misses, but we contained old Parkonians very well and limited them to a few shots on target. But midway through the first half, the returning Kendall Campbell was basically knackered, so I eventually had to switch him and Jordan Mills around just to kind of limit the damage, really. But it's one of them ones. There was a chance from a free kick that Jordan had, but he put it over and ended up on his backside. There was another chance that had the same outcome later in the game, but I'll get onto that. Later on in the half, just before half-time, after a really organised performance, we ended up conceding from a corner. The ball was played in from the left-hand side, my left-hand side, and I think, as I actually didn't see it go through my legs, the ball dropped to a striker and he fired it past me. Not funny. But sucker punch, but 1-0 it was. Ollie Lewis actually came close to a quick equaliser after a lightning quick break down the right, which ended up in him flashing a shot wide, which their keeper actually got fingertips to. The half-time rolled around, but it was a tad disappointing to be a goal down. But I had to emphasise to the guys to keep going, as Andrew Williams chipped in, saying give him the ball early, and Ash Farrell added some notes in as well. But by the way, I must say, Ash is actually one of the fittest players I've seen come through Ibis in a long time. yeah, G-Man, you know that. Ash can run up and down for life. He's one of them ones. But it's one of them ones. But second half, we went back out, and after a chat with the referee to clear the air, after he actually accused me of cheating in the first minute, when I asked the ref, who took an eternity to actually signal for it, to clarify whether it was corner or a goal kick. I mean, it was one of them ones which our opposition hit the bar from the resulting corner, actually. By the way, but it was a corner, but referee usually signals corner ball. But this referee took ages to do it, so it's one of them ones. I was just asking ref, what is it? And I just love the way the ref was that, mate, you know what it was. You had the best view. It's awful. You're trying to cheat already. Awful. And I'm like, mate, I'm not trying to cheat. I'm asking you to clarify.
Well, I gotta say, some refs like to play common sense refereeing, and some players like to go on ignorant.
Yeah, but most refs that I come across, yeah, from the referee's perspective. But anyway, most refs signal early and say corner ball.
You know who we should ask about this?
I was waiting for the referee to signal.
We should ask Dave Mayer, aka Messi.
Great point. It's one of them ones, a ref's view.
Shout out to him.
Exactly. But second half started and we had our chances.
He would have said you were wrong, by the way.
We had our chances, but early in the second half, old Parkonians came out of the blocks quickly and had us penned in for a while, and actually did force me into a few good saves, which at times surprised me that I had made. I'm sure surprised the guys as well. But old Parkonians did end up scoring 3 more goals as fatigue and cramp started to set in, and as we only had a bare 11 due to no-shows and dropouts, we couldn't make subs, so we had to switch people just in terms of position. On the pitch. One of the goals was actually a quality finish from the edge of the 18-yard box to my right, which even at full stretch couldn't do bugger all about. But even with the deficit, we still had chances, the best of which fell to Ash after a great run across by Andrew Williams, but somehow the keeper managed to get over to it and, oh my word, and denied him. And I still don't know how the keeper managed it. to get how the keeper managed to get over and block the shot. But even before Ash had hit the ball, I was like, yes! I thought he was going to bury it. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Apparently, Carl Bolton was already celebrating as well. Because it was gaping goal and somehow the keeper gets over. It's like, oh my God, no. Just know it's not going to be your day. But it was one of them. Was another hilarious chance we had fell to Kendall Campbell. He's gonna kill me for mentioning this when he hears this back. But basically, after he'd done the hard work on the edge of the box with a great turn to open up the space to shoot, he fluffed his lines by falling over and basically hitting the corner flag. His effort went so wide. It was one of them was like for the YouTubers, it was like, yep, great turn, and then all you see is bang. His legs just went. His legs just went, and it was like, oh my God, and he's hit the corner flag. We were mocking him afterwards, saying, "May, you need to stop abusing corner flags, man. It's not on." It was just not on. But it was one that was after the match though. The revelation was actually made by Carl Bolton and Rob Lusher about the side that we faced being a good 4 divisions above us, and us filling in for the freeze this week. But we felt that we have the fight and we have the heart for a battle. But once again, we didn't have the legs because we just lacked the numbers. And I mean, 37 people available for 4 teams on a weekend tells its own story. You need 44 at a bare minimum to fill 11 aside. So it tells its own story and it's not a positive one. But can't fault the guys. Like I said to the guys, can't fault anyone for effort. And even writing this on the Saturday night, that when I did, I could feel my knees seizing up. So it was one of them was bad. So my ice pack ended up becoming my very best friend for a night. And so got to say a big shout out to the guys for the effort put in. We just need the numbers to turn that fantastic effort into wins. So on them I'm straight shooting LJA, and that's my take on the game. Old Parkonians 4, Ibis Freeze 0. But yeah, just a bit, I said a big shout out to ibisfootballclub@gmail.com. That's where you need to email if you want to play for the club. Facebook.com/ibis.fc and @ibis_football on Twitter, and ibisfc.co.uk is the official website. We need players, especially goalkeepers. I'm a left back. I don't want to be playing in goal, but needs must. But also another team, speaking of Kendall Campbell and the awfully atrocious chance that he missed, -5 stars on that one. And Jamie, there's a position in goal. When you're healed, there's a position in goal. Let me know. It's not, I don't think I can. It's, I think I can. I know I can. Like the little Jamie that could. But it's one of them. Was another team that we mentioned is Haringey Borough Women's FC. They're located at Coles Park, White Hart Lane, Tottenham, London N17 7JP. They do have a Facebook group as well. At HBWFC1 is them on Twitter, and HBWFC Twitter @gmail.com is where you need to email. HaringeyWomenFC.co.uk is their website. They train on Tuesday evenings from 7:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. at Northumberland Park Community School, Truelock Road, London N17 0PG, and their match days are on Sundays. Their latest match, Haringey Borough Women's FC 1, Colchester Town 4. It was actually played at the Enfield playing fields. This is from March 9th, 2014. It was 2:00 kickoff in the Eastern Region Women's League. And even first half saw Borough take an early lead through Joselina Ferreira, who profited from a short goal kick routine which misfired. Sounds a bit like Chelsea Tottenham. Both sides made and wasted chances, but in the last 5 minutes of the half, Colchester took the lead
5 minutes
as the Borough defence endured a shaky spell. After the interval, 2 further Colchester efforts, a glancing header and a fine high shot just under the bar, put the game more or less beyond Borough's reach, although heads never fell. A plus factor for Borough was the promising debuts made by 2 recent signings, Rasa Imanalevia and Katie Sanford, who will surely make valuable contributions to the Borough cause in
Viva la raza.
It's terrible.
You knew I was gonna do it though.
Terrible. The Borough squad who were used that day: Natalie Silver Knight, Shelley Minette, Karen Nichols, Carla Parker, Lorraine Gabidon, Stephanie Cooper, Erica Varakova, Daria Kaminska, Paulina Savasiete. Hope I've said that one right. Joselina Ferreira, Lydia Opoku, Rasa Emanilevia. Sorry if I've got that wrong. And Katie Sanford. That match report was supplied to us by Kendall Campbell, so thank you for that. Now, you know what? We're still in the grassroots segment, and we've got another thing to mention. This is from Joy Francis at Words of Colour. Words of Colour Productions. At Words of Colour on Twitter and www.wordsofcolour.co.uk. Stereo Hype Festival 2014 will be happening at the end of this week. The Stereo Hype Festival is a free 2-day event on the 14th and 15th of March 2014, promoting and celebrating the well-being of African and Caribbean communities through art, performance, and discussion as well. Yeah, it's one of them ones. Stereo Hype Festival. The festival, which is being hosted in partnership with Time to Change and the Birmingham and Solihull Mental Health Foundation Trust, is one of the first events of its kind to raise awareness of and positively celebrate better health and well-being for African and Caribbean people. Over 1,000 people are expected to flock to Mac Birmingham for the festival. Stereo Hype will showcase some of the cities and countries leading African and Caribbean performers, such as BBC One Extra's favourite jazz/soul artist, Call Me Unique, comedian and former Teletubby, he played Dipsy, John Simmet, acclaimed baritone opera singer Byron Jackson, up-and-coming grime artist Liam, the Choir with No Name, the Notebenders Big Band, established by legendary jazz saxophonist Andy Hamilton, MBE, the popular legend Bob Marley Tribute Band, and BBC Radio WM's Nikki Tapper, and many more. On Friday 14th of March, there will be the Black Men on the Couch stand, where two former top flight footballers will discuss their career highs and lows, and how they manage their mental well-being during their heyday. They are former Reggae Boys International and Birmingham City footballer Michael Johnson, and Chelsea FC's first black footballer Paul Canaville, who we had the pleasure of interviewing back in 2012. YouTube.com/pitchtalk is where you can find that video. Paul Canaville has said, "My reasons for taking part in the Black Men on the Couch experience at the Stereo Hype Festival on Friday, March 14th is because I believe my upbringing made it difficult for me to express myself totally while growing up. So I hope that sharing my experiences will help others to understand more about health and well-being issues." Michael Johnson has said, "I look forward to being part of a positive, feel-good festival like Stereo Hype, where communities can come and be inspired and motivated. It was an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm happy to be a part of it." To book free evening tickets to see Michael Johnson and Paul Canaville, go to www.macarts.co.uk/event/stereo-hype-festival. That's www.macarts.co.uk/stereo-hype-festival. Also, to find out more about the free 2-day festival on Twitter at Stereo Hype 2014 and Facebook.com/Stereo Hype Festival. You know what I must say about the Stereo Hype Festival? Looks like a fantastic idea. Being of Afro-Caribbean origin myself, fantastic idea, and I think there needs to be a lot more festivals like it, celebrating the positives.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, mental well-being is so important, probably more important than physical well-being, in all honesty, but it's the community. The community aspect is very, very important, and it's something that's being lost in these days of quick fixes, the microwave kind of society where everyone wants everything yesterday. The community with the focus on the word unity. That's important. So big shout outs to Michael Johnson and Paul Canaville, and also Joy Francis of Words of Colour for letting us know about that event.
Absolutely.
G-Man, Jesse, any views?
No, absolutely. I think it's a fantastic event, fantastic opportunity for anyone that goes down there to show that support of the community, you know. And if we're going to redefine what community means, I think we need more events like this where it is a coming together of unity. So, you know, it's a fantastic, as I say, opportunity. Great work being done by Words of Colour and, of course, Joy Francis. And a big thank you to everyone who's involved. Because, as I say, we need many more of those types of events. Just in general, you know, just in general. So keep up the good work, and I hope whoever gets to attend this weekend is able to come back and report back to us.
Definitely. Hopefully.